All thanks and praises due to the Basis Foundation. God is most great, and none has the right to worship you. Hello, it's Stepdogg the Hip Hop Prophet once again, and this is the next video in the YouTube series. And the name of this video is The Book of Revelation Revealed, Part 8, to the Church of Thyatira. And I'm going to read it to you now. To the angel of the church in Thyatira, write, these are the words of the Son of God, whose eyes are like blazing fire, and whose feet are like burnished bronze. I know your deeds, your love and faith, your service and perseverance, and that you are now doing more than you did at first. Nevertheless, I have this against you. You tolerate that woman Jezebel, who calls herself a prophet. By her teaching, she misleads my servants into sexual immorality and the eating of food sacrificed to idols. I have given her time to repent of her immorality, but she is unwilling. So I will cast her on a bed of suffering, and I will make those who commit adultery with her suffer intensely, unless they repent of her ways. I will strike her children dead. Then all the churches will know that I am he who searches hearts and minds, and I will repay each of you according to your deeds. Now I say to the rest of you in Thyatira, to you who do not hold to her teaching and have not learned Satan's so-called deep secrets, I will not impose any other burden on you, except to hold on to what you have until I come. To the one who is victorious and does my will to the end, I will give authority over the nations. That one will rule them with an iron scepter and will dash them to pieces like pottery, just as I have received authority from my Father. I will also give that one the morning star. Whoever has ears, let them hear what the Spirit says to the churches. Okay. So basically, I feel where it says these are the words of the Son of God. I don't believe those words came out of Jesus' mouth. I believe that's an alteration right there. You know what I mean? There's no way Jesus would refer to himself as the Son of God. No way. I already know it. Whose eyes are like blazing fire and whose feet are like burnished bronze. Well, that's basically, he's just saying, yeah, that's how John described me. That's who I am. But no, the Son of God, those are not Jesus' word. There's no doubt in my mind. I know your deeds, your love and faith, your service and perseverance, and that you are doing more now, more than you did at first. So basically, okay, this event was actually Easter Sunday of 2016. At that point, I had established the Basis Foundation, legally, set up the nonprofit, opened a bank account for it as well. So I basically established the Basis Foundation at that point. And also I had the golden rule, the prayer, the lesson, and extra credit, those 3 songs. I had the copyrights, the ownership belongs to the Basis Foundation. In fact, there's even a email on my phone that says that I should receive the letter, the official document that verifies that the prayer, the lesson, and the song extra credit, all 3 belong to God and the Basis Foundation. So that's what Jesus means there. You know what I mean? Like basically, I'm being a servant of God and I'm persevering, doing my delivery work, trying to continue to push forward with, what God needs me to do. And I also quit one of my courier jobs because I was doing courier jobs for 2 companies. And the one company, I didn't have enough time to do both jobs and also, continue to pursue this for the Lord. So I gave up the one. And, that's what is basically said to me. You're doing more than you did at first. I'm doing more at that time than I ever did. Nevertheless, I have this against you. You tolerate the woman Jezebel. Well, basically, he's talking about my mother, who calls herself a prophet. Because, you know, my mother thinks she knows it all. She thinks she's got it all figured out because the devil's right there with her. You know what I mean? You're not going to pull anything over on her because she has the wisdom of Satan. By her teaching, she leads my servants into sexual immorality and the eating of food sacrificed to idols. What God means by that is my mother gave other people ideas, and one of the servants that God is talking about is the second waver, Jamaica. See, Jamaica's not a prophet. She's just a woman that was a witness to the fact that I can be a nice person. I mean, people aren't going to see that because they're going to see the wrath of God, and they're going to see me saying, you know, you better follow the golden rule or you're dead. I'm going to kill you. So she's a witness to the fact that I can be a very good, caring, nice person. So she's the other witness. And the thing is, I believe it was Super Bowl Sunday, I let her and her boyfriend hear the golden rule, the 3 songs, the prayer, the lesson, and extra credit. But I also let them hear Witchcraft Panty. And Witchcraft Panty is all about how my mother tried to kill me and had me set up, and the Illuminati had me surrounded and all this other stuff. That gave I and her cousin an idea to do me Illuminati blood sacrifice style. Because basically, Jamaica's cousin, you know, she's only a teenager, but, you know, she's into doing hip-hop and being a female rapper and all that. And, you know, obviously Jamaica heard my songs, and I gave her copies of the Golden Rule, and, you know, her cousin heard them. And then, you know, Jamaica told her about Witchcraft Panty and how my mom tried to kill me. And, you know, obviously hip-hop is filled with Illuminati blood sacrifices. And, what do I want to say? Basically, Jamaica and her cousin came up with the idea to kill me so that her cousin can blow up and be a star. And she got that idea from Witchcraft Panty, from my mom. And that's what, you know, God means there. You know, she's leading people who are meant to serve me down her path. And then God's basically saying, you know, my mother was given, and you know, she had time to repent and, you know, of her immorality, but she's unwilling. Basically, you know, God is saying there is that, okay, your mother tried to kill you. You know, she's totally with Satan, and she won't even acknowledge it. She's totally unwilling. You know what I mean? She acts like if it's all, you know, she pretends like it's all in my mind, even though she knows it's not. She plays that game. She has no desire for forgiveness. She has no desire to change her ways or whatever, because she sold her soul to the devil, and she's done. She's going to hell. And then basically what God says to me is, okay, God's going to cast her on a bed of suffering. Well, obviously that just means God's going to make her pay the price for what she's done and continues to do. And I will make those who commit adultery with her suffer intensely unless they repent of her ways. An example of that is this Puerto Rican scumbag that lives next to me, Eliud Cruz. You know what I mean? Just the other day, he was disrespecting me outside of my door. I mean, he's being paid to live right next to me and spy on me. And then he has the nerve to be telling all these people that live around me that I'm a weirdo and I'm this, that, the other. I can't do anything or bring any people over my house because this guy's spying on me, ready to go rat me out to my mother at any moment. So he's going to pay the price. He's going to die on the day of judgment. I'm going to kill him, and he's going to lose his head. But, you know, anybody who's helped my mother over the years is going to suffer as well, unless they, you know, are like, yo, I'm sorry. And You know, I reject that and I will follow the golden rule. This Eliud Cruz scumbag has already said he's not following the golden rule, and he's not letting anybody tell even his son what to do. So his son's going to go to hell with him because he's a scumbag. And I will strike her children dead. Basically what God means by that, any of her servants. It doesn't mean specifically her children. She only has 3 children. I'm one of them. My brother is another. And my sister is another. She might strike them 2 dead. Especially my brother. I mean, he's been like her pet. So, I mean, I could see that happening. But I think striking her children dead means a lot of other people who have helped her as well. And then all the churches will know that I am he who searches hearts and minds, and I will repay each of you according to your deeds. That's God. Jesus knows that he don't have that ability. He don't have that ability. That's God's job. So that's basically God saying, don't worry, Jeff. You know, everybody's going to know after the hour of judgment that, you know, God speaks the truth, that, you know, God is real, and that God is going to judge everybody based according to their deeds. Now I say to the rest of you in Thyatira, to you who do not hold to her teaching and have not learned Satan's so-called desperate deep secrets, I will not impose any other burden on you except to hold on to what you have until I come. Now basically, the reason God is saying that I tolerate Jezebel is because I wrote the book Prior Knowledge, which is a book of God. It's like the science book of God. And, you know, my mother confiscated all my possessions when I went to jail. And she had them. And basically, God was like, why don't you go get your stuff? What are you waiting for? Why are you allowing her to convince you that if you go back there, she's going to set you up again and try to get you put back in jail? Don't worry about it. Just go get your stuff and do it. So I did after this. But, you know, at the time I didn't. I was still, you know, I was still a little skeptical about going back because I thought they were going to set me up and try to have me put back in jail. But, you know, basically God's saying, if you go and do that, I will impose no other burden upon you, and just hold on to everything that you went and got when you went back to Scranton, and hold on to it until I come. And then it says, to the one who is victorious and does my will until the end, I will give authority over the nations. That one will rule them with an iron scepter and will dash them to pieces like pottery. He's just basically saying, you know, if you do my will until the end, Jeff, during the hour of judgment, you will receive the rod, the iron rod. And, you know, you're going to rule over the nations. I mean, I'm going to be the boss. It's like God is the king, and I'm like God's head servant. And everybody has to listen to me. Because I'm speaking for God, just like Jesus would. And, you know, that then Jesus says, just as I have received authority from my Father. I just said that. I will also give that one the morning star. I already know I received that. Whoever has ears, let them hear what the Spirit says to the churches. And that is to the church in Thyatira. All thanks and praise due to the Basis Foundation. God is most great. None has the right to be worshipped but you.